What's up, everyone? We should be good to go. Let me know y'all can hear me. So I caught myself trying to try another software just a minute ago, but it was doing too much freezing. I was like, you know what? Let me go back to what I know and not even worry about it. I have to do that later. All right, cool. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing tonight? We should have the phone lines and everything working right tonight, so it shouldn't be no problems there. Yes, we can hear you. Cool. Yeah, I had another software that I was gonna be using tonight, but when I tried it, it was freezing. So I just said, you know what? Let me just try this another time, do it another time. Yep, finally caught a live show. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know I cover SWAC content over here. That's what we talk about. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. All right, we're gonna wait for a few people to get in the room. We live, sounds good. Let's go. All right. What's going on, Lawrence? How y'all doing tonight? Y'all watch NFL this weekend? Any NFL games? The SWAC players did good. Well, not just the SWAC players, but all the HBCU players played well. That guy Joshua Williams, he's gonna be really good for the Chiefs. He's gonna be a dog for the Chiefs. Finally, BG has come back to Swag Buzz in the building. I appreciate y'all. Well, yeah, Joshua Williams did good. The Kobe Durant's gonna be a dog. James Houston, he did okay. He didn't have any like plays that like really jumped out, but you know, he held his own. He didn't let anything really slip by his way, but he didn't get any sacks or anything like that. But you know, it's still time for all that. Yeah, he did okay. He did decent. I mean, he didn't do anything like game changing plays or anything like that. He did decent. But he still has time. You know, it was just his first preseason game. Jatari Carter, he held his own, so he did good as well. The guy from I think he's from Fort Valley State, Shamar Bridges, for the Ravens. Now he's gonna be good. He's gonna be a star in the NFL. Oh yeah, Marquise Bell was nice too. Man, the Cowboys got to steal with Marquise Bell. They got to steal, man. But we gotta cut that out though. Like y'all just can't be getting these good players from HBCUs on the cheap. Y'all need to draft these guys. How long would 21 be out for JSU? I think he's gonna be
I think he's expected to be back by the start of the season, I believe. 'Cause I know he's working out now. But injuries like that to get back to 100%, it might take some time. They got Bill out the bargain being right. Right, man. They all got a steal. Yep. And so that's one thing we need to change really is start getting these HBCU guys to go in early rounds because the NFL, we got to start calling the NFL out. And I'm gonna try to do that once the draft come around next year. I know I'm gonna be online pretty much saying stuff like, hey, y'all need to draft our guys early. Don't be trying to get our guys on the cheap. We need to have our online presence saying that because the NFL cares about their image. Y'all see what they doing now with all this Sean Watson stuff. They care about their image. So if people from the HBCU community start complaining, hey, y'all not drafting our guys, but y'all see how good they are. And then when they get into the league, they're dominating or they're playing well and they're making rosters. Why won't y'all spend a draft pick on them? Do them their honor and make them a draft pick. FAMU has a game before Jackson State. Yeah, they play North Carolina Tar Heels. Now, hopefully, they have a great game against them because if they have a great game against North Carolina, that would really set them up well against Jackson State. I just don't want them to get blown out. I don't really want any SWAC teams to get blown out this season. We don't need none of that. We need them to play well. We need them to play well through all their FBS games and out of conference games to really show, how strong the conference is. Well, the HBCU has to do a better job with showcasing our players by playing at least one FBS team so they can show up and show out. That's true. You have some people that disagree with that, though. They don't really care about playing the FBS teams. But I do think having one game against an FBS team does help because when you look at the Kobe Durant, that's what put him on the map with the Rams. Their performance that he had against Clemson. So sometimes you have to have that one game that really put your players out there and showcase them. But I think Jackson State is kind of in another ballpark because they don't really have to do that because they have Coach Sanders. So they don't really have to do that. This man said, FAMU 35, North Carolina 3. If that happened, that'll be crazy. If that happened, that'll be crazy. FAMU will go down in history if that happened. That'll be in the history books. Because, not too many FCS teams beat FBS teams. So they'll definitely make history with that. It's funny. People think the FCS playoffs is a financial trap all of a sudden. But people been saying that. But now, I guess certain people have to say it before they start to realize that, the FCS playoffs ain't really a lucrative thing when it comes to money. We want any SWAC team playing a out-of-conference team to win. Right. We've been saying that for years. There has been an increased presence of NFL scouts at different HBCU camps. Hopefully, this will raise the number of draftees this year. Yeah, it should. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of schools, man, stepping up everything, stepping up their content. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about tonight was what I'm noticing about the content coming from HBCUs, man, especially in the SWAC. Like everybody's stepping it up. They're recording their practices. They're really showcasing their players. I'm loving what I'm seeing, man. They're actually leading the FCS with this because I don't really see any other FCS teams really doing it to the level of what some of these SWAC teams are doing. A lot of that has to do with Coach Prime, what he's doing at Jackson State, kind of lit a fire under everybody, But FAMU, I think FAMU, as far as quality goes, FAMU has the best quality. Like they stuff look like something that an NFL team would be doing. So I really love what FAMU is doing. Grambling is doing great. Southern's getting out there. Alcorn trying to get out there now. Like it's dope, man, to see everybody really stepping it up now with their content. What's your score prediction on Howard and Alabama State game? I think Alabama State gonna win that one. There has been DJ 85 said white people have to say it. It seemed that way, huh? It seemed that way. Like when I was saying it, you know, it people weren't really paying attention to it, but you know, I guess certain people have to say it and then they start to listen. This is exciting what's going to happen against North Carolina and FAMU. Cocaine is a powerful drug. Y'all are funny. What's going on, Hoop Jargon? Make sure y'all subscribe to Hoop Jargon, man. That's my guy there. He got his SWAC hours too. He's from Prairie View. So y'all make sure y'all go follow Hoop Jargon for all your NBA content. He talk about HBCUs as well. Jack State has had 8 NFL teams at practice. Sonny Boom quality better than all the teams. Ric Flair most famous quote: "To be the man, you got to beat the man." Right. Lauren says Howard 24, Alabama State 21. If Bama State doesn't win, they can't come back to the SWAC. Right. Now I don't think the SWAC need to play teams like LSU or Notre Dame unless the talent would be competitive. Yeah, I mean they can play minor FBS schools like, you know, group of 5 schools that, you know, it'll be a competitive game. Now Tennessee State, they're playing Notre Dame this year, so we'll see what they do against them. If Tennessee State go up there and have a good showing, that'll be great for their program. Like they'll put their program on the map. And LSU playing Southern as well, so if Southern performs well against LSU, that'll do good for their program too. You're Sonny Boom on a different level. Bama State is going to roll Howard. I hope they don't lose, man, because y'all know the MEAC folks gonna be talking, boy. They love to talk now. They won't they won't ever stop talking if they beat Alabama State. What's going on, Raw Truth Media? That's my guy there. Make sure y'all go follow him as well. Alabama State over here in college. Oh, they playing Notre Dame next year? I thought they were playing this year. You might be right. It might be next year. I know they're trying to play Notre Dame, and then they're trying to play somebody else, Ohio State. They're trying to play Ohio State too. And they're trying to play North Dakota State. So I think what Eddie George is doing, what Coach Eddie George is doing, I think his plan is to elevate his program by playing big time, big brand schools. I think that's what he want to do. And we'll see what, you know, and I think Coach Prime approach is recruit the best players he can recruit and dominate the conference. Like he wants to go in there and blow people out, all his games be blowouts, so he can get his name out there and the team can really rise up in the media. So I think that's what Coach Prime is trying to do, but we'll see which way it works. My dog Hoop Jargon. But yeah, so tonight I was gonna talk about social media, the importance of social media. Now, as I said before, SWAC teams are stepping it up. They're stepping up their content creation, which is awesome. And I think this is gonna help recruiting. This is gonna get the fan base more excited to go to the games. SWAC. The NFL has been out on a lot of camps this week. Oh yeah. I've been talking about that. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. But yeah. Hold on, why is this thing doing this? Okay, there we go. But yeah, man. So yeah, having our content out there is great for us, man. That's something that we need to keep doing. What I want SWAC teams to do, I want them to get to where they can sell game jerseys. We need to be able to sell game jerseys. We need to be able to sell, like you see NCCU, they just got a deal with I think it's I can't remember what the company is called, but the company, they pretty much go out and shop them to apparel companies to get their jerseys and stuff made from their players and sell the jerseys to the fan base. All the SWAC schools need to be trying to do this. All of them need to be trying to do this. Don't get Mr. Fire started on jerseys. I know, right? Yep, it's rolling out. A lot of retailers are licensing HBCU apparel. Yeah, that's what we need, man. Because there's so much money on the table being left on the table. So much money. Thank you for speaking on this. The entire SWAC merchandise department has to elevate. Yeah, I don't know how we can. I don't know. We email them. I don't know how we can just go about like really lighting a fire under them to let them know, hey man, we want these jerseys. Like we willing to pay. I'm willing to pay $100 and something for a jersey. You know, I'm willing to pay that. Eddie George is going to get embarrassed playing Ohio State, Notre Dame, and North Dakota State. Coach Prime is trying to build up his team and play FBS school down the line. Hey, you right. You right. But I think Coach George they have to do that because they don't have the cachet Jackson State has. The SWAC don't control jerseys. Well, whoever controls the jerseys, they need to be trying to get those deals done. Somebody control it. The SWAC has a say in, their property being sold. So they have a say in what goes on with that. You can't just be somebody and put their logo, the SWAC logo on a jersey and not have to reach out to them at all. The schools need to do it. Well, that's kind of what I mean when I say the SWAC. I mean the schools too, regardless if it's the schools or something that the schools have to do on their own, but they definitely need to be trying to do that because it's a lot of money being left on the table. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines for y'all to call in. We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about tonight. This was kind of like a checking in show. I know I haven't been on in a while, so I wanted to come in, holler at y'all tonight. 1 second. All right, that's the phone line. The phone lines are open. We should be able to go, good to go tonight. It shouldn't be no problems with the audio or anything like that. Too much money being left on the table, right? I thought you meant the conference apparel. Facts, throwbacks in the 02 and 09 era had SWAC licenses. I'm an Alabama A&M alum, and I'm telling you, I'll buy a throwback Jerry Rice. Hold on, we got a call coming in, y'all. Hold on just a second. What's going on, Caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, what up, SWAC Bud?
What's up, man?
A great show. Hey, pretty good, man. Great show as normal. I was wondering, man, if you had seen.
Let me double check that they can hear you first. Can y'all hear him? They should be able to hear you, but let me double check. Can y'all hear him? Let me know if y'all can hear him or not. All right, they can hear you. Go ahead, Drum.
Okay. So yeah, I was, in the spirit of this conversation about, branding and, marketing and whatnot. There's a video that was just put out on YouTube. I want to say yesterday. I was wondering if you or anybody in the chat had seen it. If you type in, it says the bizarre drama between ABC, Southern University, and the HBCUs. So I sat there and watched it, man. It's about 10 minutes long. And basically it talked about, during the 90s, Southern was a hot program in the 90s, and they were doing so well that ABC approached, them as well as both conferences about a deal. And basically what the deal was, they would like show 2 of Southern's home games and like 2 MEAC games. But like the deal was for, what is it, like $40,000 that was split between both conferences. So therefore, like each school would get like $1,000. They really wanted to showcase the Jackson State Southern game since, I think it was the '96 game they wanted to show, because Southern in '95 they finished like 11-1, and their only loss was in Jackson State. But ABC, what they wanted to do was they wanted to have the JSU Southern game in '96 like at a 2 o'clock start time instead of like 7 to 8 o'clock, and they wouldn't black out the area in Baton Rouge. So Southern's AD at the time, Marino Kasem, he was like, nah, we're good. And ABC got mad and pulled out the entire contract for both conferences as a whole. It talks about, there were quite a few ADs and whatnot in both conferences that were upset. But in my opinion, I'm saying he definitely did the right thing, because as we've seen over the last 20 years, ESPN, they've kind of done the same thing. A lot of us, we like, yo, why are they showing these really kind of whack games between the MEAC and SWAC, showcase the best games. But the thing is, like, ESPN has approached, Jackson State and Southern to air our game, but they want to air it like on a Thursday night or ESPN2. And that's not going to work. I think the only time something like that worked, I don't know if you remember SWAC Buzz in '07, when we played Grambling in the regular season. I think it was ESPN2 that approached us, but they wanted the game to start like at 11 o'clock in the morning, and we decided to go with it. I mean, the attendance was decent, but, so just kind of wanted to get your take on that. Should we, because Southern stance was in the '90s, we're not going to sell our soul, for like this $40,000 check. And if you're giving us $40,000 split between both conferences, ain't no telling you like the millions of dollars that, ABC was going to be making behind the scenes. So just kind of wanted to get your take on that, just as far as like, should we jump at any opportunity for a national platform, even though, the money doesn't look right, or should we push our start times up? So kind of wanted to get your feedback on that.
Okay. Let me get Mr. Ford on the call too. Hold on just a second. Hey, Mr. Ford, I got you on. Let me respond to him real quick. So that's what they do. They wanna get us on the cheap. They don't respect us like they respect these other Power 5 schools and stuff like that, because you see that the deals that they give in the Big Ten, the SEC, and all this other kind of stuff, they don't come at them like that. And so that's why I wish that we could get with a platform that sees our value and respects us to give us a fair deal. I don't like ESPN, but they kind of have a monopoly on the TV world. Pretty much, they're like, everybody goes to them, even though you have FS1, but it's not ESPN. So we're kind of at the mercy of going to the biggest platform that's going to get us the biggest views. But when we do that, we get mistreated, and they just doing whatever they want to do. They throwing us on the ESPN app. The ESPN app is convenient to use, but come on, man. Like, some of them games that they have on TV shouldn't even be on TV. Like, I've seen some Group of 5 games where I'm like, I would rather see Southern versus Jackson State than this. Even if I wasn't even a part of the SWAC or a SWAC fan, I'd rather see a more exciting HBCU football game than a no-name, off-brand Group of 5 game. Well, go ahead, Mr. Ford. Yeah. You can say something.
Hey, let me say hello to everybody. And we lost the Giant. Hey, how you doing? Is this Charlotte?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
All right. Listen, guys, before I get on, because the answer I'm going to give you is real quick. Guys, we lost the Giant this week in our world, in the Black world. Lamont Dozier. Lamont Dozier was one of the premier songwriters for Motown. It was actually 3 of them. It was Holland, Dozier, and Holland. It was 2 brothers. Now, Lamont just died this week. The 2 Holland brothers are still living. They're in their 80s. But yeah, how you doing, Darryl? Good to hear from you. But listen, it's very simple about what you just asked, SWAC. The answer is this. All you got to do is go back and read what Marcus Garvey said. He said, stop begging the white man and do for self. The answer is Dr. McClellan and them got to put the money into that SWAC network. And once we get that SWAC network where it needs to be, them questions that you're talking about when our game should be on and all that SWAC network will answer all them questions. Stop begging the white man and do for self. Okay? That's all they got to do. Put the money in that SWAC network. That's what they got to do. No, ESPN ain't gonna do you right. Listen, you know who owns ESPN? You know who owns Fox? Them people are your enemy.
Viacom?
Well, actually, Disney owns ESPN. Disney owns ESPN, and they own ABC. Now, Fox is owned by that guy out of Australia. You talking about white supremacists? Rupert Murdoch now? Look, man, I'm telling you, we begging the Klan to publicize us. All they got to do is put that money into that SWAC network. That's all they got to do.
Appreciate the call, Jerome. Mr. Ford, I'm gonna get somebody else on the call, and hold on just a second. What's going on, Carly? You live? Talk to me. I'm gonna get somebody else on the call, and what's going on, Carly? You live? Talk to me.
What's going on, Sway Bud? This is HBCU Overdrive, man.
What's going on?
I just got on the show. I'm good, man. I see y'all have a good show today. Mr. Ford, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good to hear from you.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I know I talked about on my channel about I know we talking about the Big Ten as far as doing the media right, their media rights and stuff like that. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Big Ten will still get to keep the Big Ten network, and they're shown on all three major networks. So just hear me out. Morning time, so around 11 o'clock in the morning, you got Fox showing the Big Ten game, because that's pretty much was their home, like as far as for the early morning game.
Mm-hmm.
Then your mid-afternoon is on NBC, because also NBC also has Notre Dame. So you can flip, they can flip which games can go on to NBC with Notre Dame. And then prime time you have CBS. That the move that the Big Ten made was the most strategic move that nobody has ever done as far as with college football. And if you really think about it too, they did it with shorter years, because they want to make sure that every school gets the cut of gets the piece of the pie. And that's the reason why, you really think about it, that's the reason why UCLA and USC is leaving the Pac-12, because the Pac-12 is not paying them.
Yeah.
Right.
ESPN got out of that deal though. Then they backed out of it, right?
Right. Well, they backed out of the deal because the Big Ten was asking for for 7 years, $380 million to broadcast, but they didn't want to be put on ESPN Plus.
All right, we back. We should be back, y'all. My bad. The internet just cut off for some reason, so I had to plug into the router. But we should be good to go now. Y'all can hear me? Let me get the phone calls back up.
There are 2 participants in the conference. The recording has started. Please note that your storage is almost full. Please log in and delete recordings or purchase more storage from your account.
All right.
Please announce yourself.
I'm not Fox, but Disney, ABC been showing Big Ten football games 6 to 60.
Yeah.
So I think they're not going to be in the running. I mean, they're still going to be in the running for what, you know, the Big Ten game, but not like that. But it's going to be the ABC, the CBS, and the Fox. Now, with like I said, what they did was smart because they did it strategically as far as their negotiating rights, because they want all their media rights, and to keep the Big Ten network, which is their, you know what I'm saying, which is their own.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Without a doubt, because if ESPN was like, well, we continue to show you games, but we're gonna put some of your stuff on ESPN Plus, and you can't use your network. Well, right. How's that where Texas have their own network, and they, you know what I'm saying, right. And they can put some games on there, but they're not regulated by ESPN like that.
Well, the thing about ESPN, the ESPN gave all that money to the ACC, and there has been no return on the dollar. The football in the ACC has been terrible, with the exception of Clemson. They came out with a list of colleges, list of Power 5 universities that were underachieving. It was filled with ACC schools. Also, Southern Cal was on there. UCLA was on there, but it had University of Miami Hurricanes was on it. Florida State was on it. Virginia Tech was on it. University of North Carolina was on it. They had all of these schools that they had given all that money to, but there was no return on the dollar. That's why they're flexing their muscle now and doing all of this stuff. Because really now, truth be told, ESPN tried to destroy the Big 12. And the reason they wanted to destroy the Big 12,
I remember that because of the fact that the 2 biggest schools that's in the Big 12 is Texas and Oklahoma, and they was like, Texas, well, you don't even have to worry about playing A&M. I'm like, bro, Texas A&M and UT been playing each other since the early 1900s.
Oh, it's over 100 years old. That rivalry is over 100 years old. Yeah,
and they haven't played since Texas A&M left out to go to the SEC.
Yeah. Now, the main thing is
appreciate the call.
See, they getting ready to do an expanded playoff. Most of the teams, what they hoping for is a 16-team playoff. Now we got the 4 teams right now. We got a Final 4. The majority of the teams that's going to participate in that playoff are going to be teams from the Big Ten and from the SEC. That's what they're working to. See, the thing that people need to realize about the Big 12, their football is exciting, but the reason they can't do nothing in that Final 4 is because they don't play defense. Now, the thing that you got to understand about the Big 12 that's unknown is that the Big 12 in the last 10 to 15 years, they've had the best basketball, the best Power 5 basketball has been in the Big 12. Most people think it's in the Big 10 and in the ACC, but that's a misnomer. The best basketball at least the last 10 years has been in the Big 12.
Right. Let me get this other call on here. Hold on, Ms. Ford.
Okay.
What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
This is Gabriel from Memphis.
What's going on, Gabriel?
Finally, Big G has come back to SWAC. What's going on, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right tonight. Hey,
all right.
I kind of agree with you about about the SWAC and the HBCUs trying to get with ESPN. But at the same time, I know the SWAC has a deal, I think, with HBCU plus or either go one of the two.
Yeah, that's
right.
And
Now here's the thing. I don't think Dr. McClellan thought it all the way through, because he signed a 10-year deal, $120 million. So that's
right.
That's 12 schools, $1 million a year. That for all their content, Mr. Ford. I'm talking baseball, basketball, football, all of them. What you think about that?
Well, let me just say this in defense of Dr. McClellan. When Dion landed in Jackson, Mississippi, they didn't know that this conference was going to go through the growth that it has gone through. The SWAC has been like Atlanta. I always tell y'all about Atlanta. Right now we got 10 million people in Georgia. They're saying in the next 3 years we're going to have 14 million in Georgia. Well, the SWAC is the same way. The SWAC is just busting at the seams right now. I mean, everybody wants a part of the SWAC. The media, the networks, the fans, the SWAC is just blowing up. And you're right, they didn't take into account that Dion would cause a metamorphic rise in the SWAC like he did. They were not ready for this growth, because baby, the growth in the SWAC right now is just out the YZ, baby. It's big. And no, they weren't ready for it. That's why one of the things I keep saying about these SWAC schools, we got to be a better infrastructure at these schools.
Right.
We got to have better infrastructure.
Okay, and I'm gonna put this question to you. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. So now when it comes to the SWAC network, now me personally, I think, like you said, the SWAC itself need to get with some of these business leaders to invest into the network, because a lot of the alumni just don't have money like that to made the money to give to them. And then like this SWAC Buzz, both of y'all chime in on this, and I'm a bounce. Okay, when it comes to the jersey, don't y'all think they need to start selling them at the games at the concession stand? And y'all have a good night.
No doubt about it. Not only that, but I think a contract needs to be signed with Walmart. All of the SWAC jerseys should be sold in Walmart. They should be sold in Target. You should be able to send and get them through Amazon. Like somebody said earlier, that's millions of dollars being left on the table.
Right.
But now getting back to that SWAC network, and I've said this over and over, Dr. McClellan has got to sit down with Kathy Hughes. He's got to sit. Well, he has a contract with Byron Alley, but we've got to solve these problems with people in our community first, and then go outside. Remember, charity starts at home first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder.
But he's got to sit down with them people first, and we got to talk this out.
I wonder.
Because, like I said, one of the things that's happening right now, since Dion landed in Jackson, Mississippi, our growth is so tremendous. We're not keeping up with the growth.
Mr. Ford, I wonder, do they have a deal with Byron Allen that, if ESPN comes along and wants to put their game on TV, does the game that he have already scheduled for HBCU go, do they take precedent? Because I know some of those games.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
You're right. It takes precedence.
Okay.
ESPN is number one, Byron Allen is number two. Matter of fact, they've added some games that were initially going to be with Byron Allen.
Yeah.
They're now going to be on the ESPN platform.
Yeah, that's why I asked that.
Jackson State's homecoming.
Okay, that's why I asked that, because I seen that he
had
had the homecoming game first.
The platform is ESPN, but Byron Allen he's number two.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, we got to make that SWAC network number one. That's what I'm saying. We got to make that SWAC network number one.
So
not ESPN.
So you would rather have the game on the SWAC network if it was not nationally televised on the SWAC network? Because if you have it on the SWAC network, it's not gonna have the reach as the ESPN, right?
You don't think so on social media? I can get anything on SWAC network right here on my YouTube. YouTube is a big thing now.
Yeah, that's true, but I think the ESPN app and then them having access to having it on TV, I think that changes things.
Well, here's the thing, and one of your callers just pointed that out. ESPN is not going to make us their number one priority. That's what I don't like.
That's true.
And if we controlled our own network, we would be our number one priority. They're not going to do us right. Because I thought that was awful when they was doing them Thursday night games. I thought it wasn't fair to the fans. Who can get to a college game on a Thursday night? I thought that was terrible. I was glad when they stopped doing it. Like I said, I was hurt because that Jackson State Bethune-Cookman game, I think it's at 1 o'clock. That's ridiculous. That should be at least a 6 or 7, at the earliest 3:30, 3 o'clock. But I think it's at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. That's awful. Yeah. Then they done changed the Boombox Classic to during a day game. Boombox Classic is a night. That's a 6 o'clock game. That's a 6 or a 7 o'clock game. That I didn't like that. I would rather than start like they said at a 1 o'clock on ESPN or whatever. I'd rather have it on the SWAC network at 6 or 7 o'clock.
All right, hold on. Let me see what we looking like on lights. 60 likes. Come on now, y'all. Y'all got to do better than that. We got to do better than 60 likes now. We got to get the stream out. So make sure y'all hit that like button. We got 140 people in here. We should have way more than 60 likes. We should have over 100 likes by now. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Boombox Class have been in the daytime the last few times in Jackson. I hate it.
I hate it too.
I like it when it's at night too. I like it when it's at night too.
Game. That's a night game. To be honest with you, most of our big games, when you look at other than the rivalries, between like an Alabama State and a Jackson and an Alcorn, our other classic games, they do better when it's at night. They do better at night. Now, at the earliest, I can't stand no 1 o'clock start. The earliest I think is a 2 or 3 o'clock start. I just can't go with no 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock start. Because our people, either they working or they got things to do. Our biggest games are at night under the lights.
Yeah.
That's historically. We like our games at night.
I mean, I've been to, I think, the Alcorn State versus Jackson State game in the daytime. I think the earliest one was like at 2. I think they had a 2 o'clock game one year. That was okay. Yeah. But, the night games are definitely better.
I can go with that because, it's going to get dark. You're talking about November. You're going to be on, is it daylight savings or are you going to be on the other one? But it's going to be dark about 5 o'clock, so I can deal with that. But I'm saying, you're talking about September and you playing at 12 noon and you playing at 1 o'clock, that's not us.
Yeah.
We don't do that. We come in September, our games need to be at night. They need to be under the lights. That's us. Alabama A&M and Florida A&M, what do you call it? That's a night game at Bragg Stadium. They got that right. See, I like that. Okay. Alabama State playing Miles College, I think, at night. They got that right. That's us. Usually when we play at night, that's when we draw the gigantic crowds other than those natural rivalries. Now, of course, Grambling and Southern are going to play at 1 or 2 o'clock. Oh, we know that's going to be 50 to 70,000 now. We know that because that's a natural rivalry. But I'm saying other games in the September time slot, they need to be at night.
Right. Royal Ferguson, you might want to refresh the stream because I think you're like behind. So you might want to refresh because we're probably way ahead of you.
Yeah, you're right. Right here it says beginning and nose in. That's right. Especially if you're traveling. Like I was telling you before, my wife and I, we had considered going down to Jacksonville for the game with Jackson State and Bethune. But once we found out it was a 1 o'clock game, we can't make that. Because both of us like night games. My wife likes night game and I like night games.
DJ85 said we don't have a problem packing the stadium for rivalry games. Y'all please stop saying that.
No, we don't. We don't know. Is it right? Listen, you're talking about FAMU, Bethune-Cookman, at least 55 to 60,000. You're talking about Alabama State, Alabama A&M, possibly 70, 75,000. You're talking about Southern University, Grambling, you're talking between 65, 70,000. In Jackson, you're talking about Alcorn and Jackson. Last year, I think it was 58,000. Might have been more than that. Yeah, those rivalries are naturally going to draw. But I'm talking about the games before the rivalries. I still say Southern. Now I think that the Grambling Jackson State game, is that a day game or a night game?
The Grambling Jackson State game, it's probably a day game.
Is that a day game or a night game?
Let me.
That's a day game, isn't it?
I can look it up real quick. Hold on. Also, the phone lines are open, y'all. If y'all want to call in, 657-390-4814.
85 said a day game. That's that Grambling Southern game. Grambling Jackson. That should be a 6 o'clock or a 7 o'clock start. That should be a night game.
Yeah, it said
yeah,
6,
it is.
I think it's 6 p.m.
Bryson Bradford said Grambling JSU 1 o'clock. That should be a night game.
Is it at 1 o'clock? Hold on, let me see. I might be looking at.
He said at 1 o'clock. That should be a night game.
Yeah, it's at 1 p.m.
6 o'clock.
1 p.m. on the 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be a night. I know probably because of TV. Because now is that going? That's ESPN Plus or is that ESPN2 or is it ESPNU? I think isn't it Plus?
ESPNU.
Oh, ESPNU?
Yeah.
But it still should be a night game. That should be a 6 o'clock start. I'm against that. Now, Jackson and Grambling at night, Jackson, Mississippi. Oh man, please.
I think we're kind of at a point where we just have to take what they give us. Like as far
that's why I say I don't like them controlling that. I don't think that ESPN should have the control over that because they're not going to do anything that fits our schools or our fans. Okay, HBCU Overdrive says there's a tape delay.
The Grambling JSU game is also on ESPN.
You and Grambling will be a seller. You know what, Tony? You might be right. I hope so. Because that's a 1 o'clock starts over here in Atlanta. That would be a 2 o'clock start. You're right. Because I watched Grambling this weekend. Let me just say this to y'all. Grambling's defense is super. Okay?
Oh, yeah, they look good.
The problem I saw, still at the quarterback position, but the best quarterback I saw yesterday in that little workout they had is that Chance, Chance Army, the kid that went to Syracuse, and he's from Texas. He's the best one. Them other kids are young. That Halloween and all them kids are very young. The best kid I saw for Grambling at quarterback is that kid from Texas, the kid that originally signed with Syracuse. He's the best one.
Right.
Now, the other thing I kind of, Grambling, I didn't see them 6'6", 6'7" tackles I like. Because, see, now, let me tell you something. I was a receiver coach and I was a running back coach. If you're going to have an air game, you got to have them long, lanky, deep, offensive tackles. People don't know. What makes your air game go is them 2 tackles. Because if them 2 tackles ain't right, baby, your quarterback going to get beat to death.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I'm saying that Shadua threw for what, 30 touchdowns last year?
Yeah.
How many touchdowns did Shadua
33
throw for last year?
33.
Listen, look for him to throw for 43 this year. If that offensive line is like they saying, look for Shadua to throw for at least 45 touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the tackles last year, they were kind of weak. Well,
I'm not going to call Cedric Dunbar.
I don't want to call them weak, but they just went up to par. And so he was having to scramble a lot.
That's right. And that's when the problem would start. Because he's a pocket passer.
Yeah.
He's a pocket passer. And if you give him a time, because he'll if you give him the time, he'll figure it out, baby, and he'll pick you apart. But they had Tony Gray was the left tackle, Cedric Dunbar was the right tackle, and then that just didn't go.
Mr. Good old days of BT Sports with JSU versus Southern at night. Charlie Neal.
At night, baby. I remember that, Charlie Neal and Lombardi. You know, I'm telling you about that. I can remember, I don't know if it was 88 or 89. Jackson came into that game. They hadn't lost a SWAC game in 2.5 years, and Southern beat them. Southern had a quarterback. That boy was named Nate Harrison. That's right. Southern beat them in Jackson. It was Jackson's homecoming. It was 53 to about 60,000 people at that game. It was a night game. It was Charlie Neal, and this had to be 88 or 89.
Sadly, BT don't really support HBCUs like that no more.
No, because they're owned by Vericon. Vericon ain't getting ready to support no BET.
They want to put all kind of
foolishness. All they want to do is show you tip drill and them other, what I call soft porno stuff. That's what they want to show you. They want to turn your children out.
They put all kind of foolishness on the internet.
Huh?
I said they put all kind of foolishness on TV now.
Oh yeah,
we shouldn't be seeing.
Listen, people don't understand. That's why the people in New York and these corporations are paying Megan Thee Stallion and this girl Cardi B all of this money, because them women are helping to turn out our children. They're helping to destroy our children. That's why they're paying them like they're paying them. They paying them girl Megan Thee Stallion. Texas Southern need to ask her for some money. She always running around talking about she graduated from Texas Southern. Give them some money, because you getting all this money. You giving all this money because you know what you're doing. You basically doing nudity on TV. It's soft nudity, and so that's what the corporations are paying you to do. That's what they're paying. What's that girl from Brooklyn? Cardi B. That's what they're paying her. That's what they're paying them for. So Texas Southern, if you're on there, write her a letter. No, she might have started at, hey, Kay Lofton, she might have started at PV. Megan Thee Stallion graduated from Texas Southern.
Yeah, she graduated from Texas Southern. But I
used to know her major. I can't think of it right now.
A lot of people think that those rappers be having a lot of money. They really don't. They really front like they have a lot of money, because a lot of that stuff they get for free. A lot of the clothing and all that kind of stuff they get for free because it's free advertisement. Why wouldn't it?
But that's why she can give Texas Southern some money.
Yeah, she can get them some money.
She can get some money. She can give them some money.
Yeah.
I don't know who's controlling her money and all that, but she can get Texas Southern some money.
Yeah, because I know she was.
Cardi B is from the Bronx. I'm sorry, that's right. She's from the Bronx.
Male rappers need to do better. I believe
she's Puerto Rican. In Cardi B Puerto Rican?
No substance at all. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think she's Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Because she lives here in Atlanta. The guy that she's married to, I think he's from Augusta, Georgia. And then what they call themselves, what's the name of that group? What's the name of the group that her husband's in? They were kind of big.
Cardi B?
Yeah, what's her husband's name?
Migos. The Migos.
The Migos, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Miss Ford, they did the same thing when they promoted male rappers like Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Snoop.
Oh yeah, Ice-T was talking to them folk, gave him a job. He's talking about fuck the police and all that old stuff. And then they gave him a job. You don't hear him saying nothing no more. Ice Cube, I think, he wanted to sneak and have a meeting with Trump.
Right.
And he wouldn't come to the White House. He was going to go to a hotel or something. And then meet some kind of way they found out what he was doing. We ain't going to talk about Snoop. I don't know who else on here. Oh, okay. It says
B Fresh
said Cardi B.
B Fresh said, Mr. Ford, so you watching too.
Hey, I gotta keep up, bro. No, I'm supposed to keep up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mr. Ford. Yeah. So did you watch all the scrimmage games this weekend?
Now I watched I didn't watch it all, but I watched Grambling. I wanted to see where they are. I'm telling you now, Grambling's defense is strong. Okay? I mean, real strong with depth. Okay, the offense, they can run the ball, but I'm seeing a lot of confusion with that quarterback situation. But I still say the best quarterback, isn't that kid named Chance Army? What's that kid's name? Isn't it Chance Army?
Yeah, I'm not sure his name.
He's the best one. He's the kid that'll probably come out of the camp starting. He's just a little late on some of his throws. He has a rocket arm, runs like a wide receiver. He's the best one of all of them. Them other kids are young, but the best one is that's it. Chance. Is it Chance Amy?
Yeah, I think he said Chance Amy. Yeah.
He's the best one. He's the best one. Now, one thing Grambling does have, they got a stable of backs. They got a stable of backs, and they're all quick. They quick. But, what I didn't see, and it kind of surprised me, was his tackles. I like them tackles to be 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and they can run. I didn't really see that unless I didn't, I didn't really. I thought that was kind of missing from Grambling's. Now the other thing, I had a chance to watch. That them guys with that pregame show, man, they good.
Yeah.
Listen, the guy that's running the tight ends are gonna be big for Jackson State this year. Mm-hmm. But that guy, Tim Brewster, whatever his name is, to me, he should be the offensive line coach. he and that coach Otis, they should be running that offensive line because, baby, he bring it.
Yeah.
Them tight ends, I saw a workout on the pregame show with the tight ends. They centered in on the tight end, baby. Them tight ends for Jackson State going to be tough, baby. And they got several of them. They ain't got just one. They got several of them.
I was about to say, I just want the SWAC, like the running back position. I haven't seen a running back in the SWAC that just a bona fide star. Like I was watching, and I know Adrian Peterson. I was watching Adrian Peterson college highlights, and I know Adrian Peterson's don't come, around often, but just a running back like that dominates, that can change a game. We don't have that yet, and I want to see that if one of the SWAC schools.
I disagree with you, SWAC.
Who you think?
You got a kid. He's wearing number 8 for you. He didn't burst on the scenes like he should have to me.
You talking about Hunt?
What's his name?
His last name Hunt?
No. He's wearing number 8. What? Somebody tell me. Put it in the chat. What's number 8's name? Running back for Jackson State. That boy could be a pro. What's his name? He's number 8. Yeah, you're right. Maurice Washington. Watch it. That's him. Let me tell you something. That boy J.D. Martin. Listen. With this new offensive line, that boy's supposed to gain 1,000 yards. I don't know how they're going to play him. I don't know if he's the lead back. FAMU got 3 big boys that can, 2 of them to me is pro prospect. FAMU got one kid named Jennings. He's out of Jacksonville. That boy's a pro prospect. That kid that has come to them from Pittsburgh, he's from Lakeland, Florida. That boy's a pro prospect. Alcorn had a kid last year to me. He transferred to Alcorn from Northwestern. That kid has pro potential. I can't remember his name, but this kid, he wore number 31. That kid, listen, SWAC, we got some backs now. I'm telling you, Grambling has a stable. Jackson State has a stable. Florida A&M has a stable of backs. There's a big kid. He's out right now. He's at Southern University. His name is Kobe Dillon. I think, isn't it? Somebody tell me, what is it? Is it Kobe Dillon? What's the kid's name down at Southern? He's hurt right now. That kid's a big timer. They say he was started out as a quarterback, but he's a big. Somebody tell me, what's the kid's name down at Southern?
I Am Big Jones says we got a lot of scat backs. Hold on, let me see what this comment just said. He said we got a lot of scat backs, but not those tall physical specimen type backs.
Well, yeah, like boys won.
The running back position is my favorite position. Like out of all the football positions, I love running back. So I just haven't seen one that that just can dominate a game. Like where you scared every time he get the ball, he might just break one for a touchdown. We need some guys like that. Mr. Ford say that. Mr. Ford say we
wait to see that kid from Pittsburgh that's down in FAMU.
Okay.
Wait to see him.
I'm definitely gonna be watching this year.
J.D. Martin, that kid can play. J.D. Martin can play. Now there's a kid that has transferred from Delaware State to Jackson. You're gonna like that boy. You're gonna like that kid.
Okay.
You're gonna like that.
I'm definitely gonna be watching. Like I said, that's my favorite position. So I'm definitely gonna be eyes glued on the running back.
It's a number of schools in the SWAC right now. They got a stable of backs. But that kid from Delaware State is no joke. He's no joke. And that Kobe Dillon down there at Southern University, that boy ran for 200-some yards on somebody last year. I don't know if it was it Pine Bluff, and I know y'all gonna say, well, that was Pine Bluff, but that kid can play. Southern has some backs. Grambling got some backs. Jackson got some backs. I'm telling you, Alcorn got some backs. What's the name down here in Montgomery? Alabama State got some backs. That's right, fam. You got a kid from Georgia State. You right, Dexter. That's right, fam. You got a kid from Georgia State. He got hurt. That's right. But they got some backs down there. They are loaded in that backfield down there, FAMU. But the one y'all gonna really love is that kid that's coming from Pittsburgh. He's from Lakeland, Florida. That kid was doing it for Pittsburgh last year. And Pittsburgh won the ACC last year, I think, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh Panthers, they won it.
Yeah. because they had the quarterback for the Steelers now.
That's right, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, there you go.
He did good yesterday too.
Yeah. He's gonna probably be the starter. That kid, Kenny Pickett's gonna be the starter there. He's gonna take over that position.
Somebody said, keep your eyes on Caleb Johnson from Valley. He ran all over PV.
Yeah, I remember him from last year. He's nice. That's right. He's nice. Caleb Johnson. He's nice. That's right. Yeah. Listen, let me just say this to all of y'all. All of these SWAC teams have Division I talent. What this thing is going to come down to is who has the best coaching staff, who has the best AD, and who has the best best president as far as athletics is concerned. That's who's going to win the SWAC. That's who's going to win the SWAC.
Yeah.
All these schools got players, man.
And the best lineman. The lineman, I think the lineman.
All these players got players. I'm telling you.
The most important part.
Like I told some people yesterday, if you didn't do what you were supposed to do in June and July, you're going to get your behind handed to you. Because there are some schools that did what they were supposed to do in June and July. Those months right there help determine whether you're going to be mediocre, loser, outstanding, or champion. Them 2 months right there.
Right.
Now, if you didn't do what you're supposed to do in June and July, you're going to get beat to death.
Joey Jackson said Jackson State is not going undefeated this year. We'll see. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm waiting on.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost yet. You know, SWAC team haven't beat them since last spring.
Alabama State has a new defensive coordinator. He's a Bethune-Cookman graduate. Did you see that?
I haven't even checked on Alabama State.
Yeah, he played. I remember when he played. He played for a guy named Jenkins. Brian Jenkins was his head coach. His defensive coordinator, we called him Yogi Jones. Yogi is out of. He was a Pitt Panther when he was in his playing days, but he was a really good defense coordinator. This guy that's going to be the defense coordinator at Alabama State is from Bethune-Cookman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. Because I still say the most important person down there at Bethune-Cookman, not Bethune-Cookman, the most important person down there at Alabama State who's going to determine how they do is that offense coordinator. If he don't come down there and do what he's supposed to do, they'll probably be mediocre. But if this guy's good, y'all, I'm telling you, Alabama State is a sleeping giant.
Joey Jackson says Grambling haven't lost in Jackson since 1999. We'll see if they keep that streak going.
Yeah, that's it.
That game is going to be packed.
Get out of that, and people need to fill up that stadium. It's been that long.
Yeah. That game is going to be packed. It's going to be at least 60,000 in that game.
Yeah. I just hate it's a day game. But, ain't nothing we can do about it. So they said it's going to be on ESPNU, right?
Yeah, it's on ESPNU.
See, let me tell you something right here. Jeremiah Clark, you said, Mr. Ford, how does the president and AD play a direct role with field performance? Always remember, championships start in the president's office. Let me tell you something. Somebody was talking about Pete Richardson earlier. When I was listening to y'all. Always remember, Pete Richardson had two people over him. The first one was a brilliant woman by the name of Dolores Spikes. She was the one that helped bring him to something. He had a great AD in Marino Castle. Go back and look at Eddie Robinson. Eddie Robinson was under a man named Prez. I think his name was Prez Jones, who wanted Grambling and understood that Grambling would be just a little country school, but they could become a national and international school if they had the sports right. Look at Billy Joe when he was at FAMU. He had Frederick Humphreys. Look at Big John Merritt when he was at Tennessee State. He had Dr. Davis, and then he had Frederick Humphreys. See, that's why I keep telling y'all about people like Texas Southern. They change presidents every 3 and 4 years. You can't win. You can't build a football program like that.
Yeah.
You got to have stability in the president's office. Listen, we give all the credit to Deion Sanders, but I'm just telling y'all, the genius of all of this was Ashley Robinson and President Hudson.
That's true. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet. We got almost 100 likes. We almost got 200 people in here, and we only got almost 100 likes. Come on, y'all. We can do better than that. We need the like so we can get the stream out to more people. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Also, the phone lines are open. Phone number 657-390-4814. If you want to call in, get your thoughts out to the stream. How many?
So that's what I'm saying. See, it starts in the president's office. Okay, let me say this about Florida A&M. I think that Willie Simmons is one of the best young coaches in America, regardless of whether he's FBS or FCS.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't feel that way about his current interim AD, and I definitely don't feel that way about his president.
Yeah,
I think that the president of FAMU is in the way. I really do, and I think that because he's the way he is, he's going to stop FAMU from enjoying what we call Gaither days. But that guy, Willie Simmons, that's one of the brightest offensive minds and one of the best young head coaches in America.
Yeah, I just hope they can keep him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I know people got their eyes on him.
Someone asked you what happened to Bethune-Cookman.
See, here's the thing with Bethune-Cookman. They had a string going there. They had a powerhouse going down there with this Brian Jenkins, and I think he won the SWAC. I mean, he won the MEAC 4 years in a row. And then he decided to leave Bethune-Cookman, which turned out to be just an awful idea, and go to Alabama State. The media in Montgomery didn't like him. I don't think the alumni liked him. And now I think he's maybe at Edward Waters as an offensive coach. But if you go back and look at the years when he was the head coach at Bethune-Cookman, they were dominant in the MEAC. They won the MEAC 4 times. This guy, I think his name is Terry Sims. Terry Sims has done all he can do at Bethune-Cookman. It's Reggie Theus, who is the athletic director, needs to come up with a short list of about 5 people to run that program next year. Terry Sims has done all he can do.
Yeah, I think UAPB, Bethune-Cookman, and honestly, Texas Southern probably gonna be looking to make some changes in leadership.
Yeah, if he don't give us about 6 or 7 wins at Texas Southern, I think they're gonna be looking for somebody else. They might give him another year, but it's too many positives going on in Houston, Texas, for them not to have a team that can be a perennial threat to win the SWAC football. You can't, like I always tell y'all, it's 500 kids in Houston every year sign Division I scholarship. You're gonna tell me that Texas Southern can't get 15 of them? They can't get 15 out of 500.
Yeah. Then you're in a great location. You're in Houston.
That's what I'm
saying. You right next to University of
Texas?
Houston. You right next to University of Houston.
You're talking about the 4th largest city in America?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can't have a program.
And I went to that campus. They have a nice campus. I went to that campus.
Yeah.
The campus is nice.
Listen,
so they have
what I always tell people, y'all get mad with me. Listen, get that program to Jay Hobson. I would like to see Jay Hobson back in the SWAC. I tell you what, get Jay Hobson 2 years down there. Get Jay. Listen, I done told y'all now. Bring Jay Hobson back to Texas and see what he do.
Guys saw beginning and know the end said Texas Southern is fine. We're building something the right way. All right, we'll see.
Okay, but let me just tell you this now. The way this thing is now, with all of these Power 5 players flooding the SWAC, you're talking about a 19-year-old kid going against a 23-year-old kid. Who you think gonna win that? A 19-year-old or 18-year-old kid going against somebody that's 21, 22 years old. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, and I say this to everybody all the time. The transfer portal is HBCU's best friend when it comes to football.
That's true.
It's been a good friend of ours, and I love it. And
you can instantly upgrade your team.
Yes, you saw with Dion. Listen, after they had that spring season and Alabama A&M won that championship, Dion has 35 of them kids to leave, and he brought in 35 more, and they went undefeated in the SWAC.
Right.
They went to Alabama A&M, who was the defending champ, and put a 60 on them, wasn't it? What did they beat them? They beat them at their
61 to
homecoming.
15.
Put 60 points. Those were transfer portal kids. So I'm going to say this again. You can get your high school kids, but remember, an 18-year-old kid going up against a 23-year-old kid, who you think going to win that?
James King said James Smith, I'm sorry, said PV and Texas Southern should be racking up on Texas talent.
Yeah.
Right. You right there with all the talent.
Beautiful stadium Prairie View got. Prairie View got one of the most beautiful state football stadiums. I think it holds 15,000. They say that the way it's built, you can add on to it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember now that back in the day, they had one of the greatest coaches in Black college history. You can't do it again. That guy was Billy Nix. He was from Griffin, Georgia. Went to Morris Brown. Go back and look at him. He dominated. He and Arnett Mumford dominated the SWAC in the 40s, the 50s. Mumford died in 61 or 62. He retired. Billy Nix retired in 65. Go back and look at what them people did. Them guys right there, when they look at the top 20 coaches as far as wins, listen, Arnett Mumford is on that list. Billy Nix's name is on that list, along with Alonzo J. Gaither, Big John Merritt. All them people is on that list.
You know,
you gonna tell me y'all can't be a dominant program at Prairie View in Texas Southern? I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
I'm shocked Prairie View didn't go with a celebrity coach when they made that hire.
I am too.
I
mean, but he has NFL experience. I'm just waiting to see. I'm waiting to see his staff because I know we'll get a chance to see him. We're gonna see.
Yeah, because I don't think nobody's
even the defending West champions.
Yeah.
Prairie View is the defending West champion, and they ain't gonna tell me that man didn't take all them players of Southern. There's some players down there at Prairie View.
Mm-hmm.
There are some players down there at Prairie View. That man did not. I know Dumas went, but everybody didn't leave and go to Baton Rouge.
Everybody's sleeping on Prairie View right now. Nobody's really talking about them.
Hey, DJ 85, you got that wrong, bro. That boy. Let me tell you something. That man, Jay Hobson, I watched him because I wanted to see was they just giving that man that job because he was a Caucasian. Let me tell you something. That man can coach. That man can run a program. He know what to do. I'm telling you, I would love for him to come back to the SWAC because let me tell you something. That man was dominating the SWAC. Southern never beat him. He went to the Celebration Bowl, I think, once. He lost to North Carolina A&T maybe in the first Celebration Bowl we had. Listen, Jay Hobson can coach, baby. Now, one thing I'm going to do, my mom and them always say you give people credit when credit is due. That man could coach and had a program. And you got to remember, Alcorn is one of the smallest schools in the SWAC. Listen, when Alcorn has played in 3 Celebration Bowls. When Alcorn would come to the Celebration Bowl, they always had a bigger crowd than North Carolina A&T. That purple and gold was all over the dome.
Mm.
I'm telling you. So listen, you got to remember now, Alcorn won the SWAC East 6 years in a row, I think, and that's one of the smaller schools.
Right. Hey, y'all. If you want to call in, phone numbers on the screen, 657-390-4814. Phone lines are open if y'all want to call in, get your thoughts out on the stream. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that like button, like the stream so we can get it out to more people.
Well, let me say this to DJ 85. What happened with Jay down at University of Southern Mississippi? It was going good until he tried to bring in Art Browse. And the president was just totally flabbergasted by him even saying that. And they fell out. And Jay knew that it was best for him to leave. He knew it. He knew it was best.
Alcorn might have 3,000 students. Well, that's good for them.
Yeah. Well, I'd say this to anybody. They dominated the SWAC under that Jay Hobson and Fred McNair.
Yeah.
And the only reason that we ain't talking about Alcorn is because Deion Sanders is in Jackson, Mississippi.
Right.
That's why we ain't talking about. Like I tell people, before Deion Sanders landed in Jackson, Mississippi, we was talking about North Carolina A&T and that whole athletic program. We was talking about Alcorn and that football program. Once Deion Sanders landed in Jackson, we ain't talking about nothing but Deion Sanders in Jackson State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Fred McNair. He's a great coach.
Oh yeah, Fred and his brother's one of the. Listen, they can talk all they want. His brother was cheated out of the Heisman Trophy. They cheated him out of the Heisman Trophy because he was in the FCS and he was at a HBCU. But he was the best player in the nation his senior year. Sports Illustrated told him. They said, give him the Heisman. And they said, you know what? We'll give it to anybody but him. And they gave it to Rashad Salon.
EA says, I think you also lose true HBCU love from players because of the portal. When you come in from high school as a freshman, there is a bond for life and love for your HBCU compared to 1 or 2 years from a PWI.
Well, let me just say that, you're right, whoever said that, but let me tell you something. Now, if you're going to win, you're going to have to get you some of them players out that portal. Listen, I've done told y'all, Willie Simmons is a great mind, great coach. Listen, he went and got 27. And we ain't going to talk about that Maynard man. Maynard went and got 57.
Yeah, Maynard went and got a whole transfer portal team. So
well,
he got a whole new team.
He built a foundation.
Yeah.
You said Alcorn did not miss a beat when Hobson left. You're right, because Hobson built a foundation. Let me tell you something. Before Hobson arrived in Norman, Mississippi, on the campus of Alcorn, for about 20 years, Alcorn's football team was irrelevant. Go back and check it. After Steve McNair left Alcorn, you didn't hear nothing about them for years until Jay Hobson got that program together when he got there.
Avis says Willie Simmons is not a great coach. Call up, Avis. I want you to call up and tell us why.
Come on, Avis.
Willie Simmons
Avis, you better than that. You better than that.
Is not a great coach.
You better than that, Avis. Come on now. Come on now. You better than that. You better than that.
Avis cannot stand FAMU, y'all.
Come on, Avis.
He can't stand.
I ain't got nothing to do with FAMU. I'm talking about Willie Simmons. Let me ask you something, Avis. You know how many schools are interested in him? And I ain't just talking about HBCUs. There are a lot of schools interested in him and watching him. Come on, Avis. Give people credit where credit is due. He's a bright mind. He's a bright mind. At FAMU is let me tell you something. Billy Joe left Florida A&M in 2003. From 2004 until about 2016, 2017, when Willie Simmons got to Tallahassee to coach Florida A&M, they were in total disarray. First, they had this guy that played for the Denver Broncos. He was awful. Reuben Carter. Then after Reuben Carter, they went and got Joe Taylor. His staff wouldn't have been a good high school staff. All right. Then they get rid of Joe Taylor. They bring in the worst coach of them all. He had played for FAMU. His name was Earl Holmes. He's the worst coach in FAMU's history. Then they got rid of him. Kessler Winslow fired him right before homecoming. And then they brought in a guy named Alex Woods. He was totally out of place. Listen, how many coaches I just called out? Was that 4 or 5?
I think that was 4.
FAMU didn't get themselves together until Willie Simmons left Prairie View and came to Tallahassee, Florida, and became the head coach at Florida A&M. So Avis, you better than that now. You better than that.
Cat got main tongue and lips.
You're right. JSU Tiger 85. Listen, they sunk to the bottom. Billy Joe was, I think, 86-20 in the years he was at Florida A&M. Reuben Carter was pathetic. After Reuben Carter, it was Joe Taylor. They fired Joe Taylor. It was Earl Holmes. I tell everybody at Florida A&M, the worst coach in Florida A&M history was Earl Holmes. He's the worst. And then they brought in Alex Wood. He was a fish out of water. They didn't get themselves together until Willie Simmons left Prairie View and found himself in Tallahassee, Florida as a head football coach.
God saw beginning and knows end says the JSU game and Southeastern Louisiana games prove he's a decent coach. Why campaign for a playoff game and look as awful as they did in that game?
Now, you see what Avis said. What great coach has never won nothing? You said he ain't never won no games, or what do you mean when you
I
say
guess
never
he's saying
won
that
nothing?
he's never won a SWAC, or he hasn't won anything.
Okay.
But he's been competitive though. You have to admit that his teams,
okay,
his teams are right there though.
We'll see. Okay, Avis, I got you. I see. You made a point there. Okay.
You got to admit that his teams have been right there though.
Yeah.
If FAMU wouldn't have lost to Jackson State, they would have been in the SWAC championship.
I'm gonna say this again. When they meet September the 4th in Miami, Florida, at Hard Rock Stadium, it's gonna be a Black College Super Bowl. Avis, you gonna be there? Are you? What school you support, Avis?
Jackson State.
You're Southern man, Grambling man, Alabama State. What are you?
Jackson State.
Oh, okay, Jackson State. Okay. What year did you come out of Jackson, Avis?
Family mascot is a snake. How are you great with 0 championships and no great accomplishment on your resume?
What years was Avis down at Jackson? Who was the head coach? Oh, you came out in '92. Okay, so you saw the great one. You saw what's his name? W.C. Gordon. Oh, you went to Mr. Greatness. You saw so Avis, you went to school when W.C. Gordon was the coach, right? Is that right?
So you said C-Log State got away with too much holding. Southeastern Louisiana got away with too much holding. I didn't see that.
Nah,
during that game.
I didn't either. I thought they were a better program.
Yeah, what stood out to me was
a better program.
Was the size of their linemen. Like they just
overpowered. Better program.
They overpowered FAMU's defensive line. They were manhandling them.
And then FAM tried to go to the air attack, something they hadn't, because FAM really had that Rashard McKay as a game manager. He really couldn't throw it for one boy, and that was that X-Man, number 19. That's why I think he went to the transfer portal. See, he understood where his program was after that loss to Southeastern Louisiana. That's why he went to the transfer portal and got those 27 kids. Yeah. He understands. See, what that guy's saying, what Willie Simmons is saying, if I meet up with SELA again or Southeastern Louisiana, it's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. And he learned from his mistakes.
I think most of the top teams.
Y'all get mad with me. That FAM can't win no SWAC with that Rashard McKay. That kid from Vanderbilt has got to come on. That kid from Vanderbilt got to play. That Musa or whatever they calling him, he got to play because he's a pure passer. FAMU has an outstanding receiving room, just like Jackson State got an outstanding receiving room. FAM got one. But that boy, Rashard McKay, can't make those kids play like that Musa kid can. That Musa kid is a natural passer. I've seen him several times.
Yeah, I think what most of the SWAC teams have done, they beat up their linemen to compete with each other. Because that's what you got to do.
Better. That's why I say it's down to the coaching now. It's down to the coaching. What did you do with your June and your July? Did you sit around and drink you a beer? Or was you in that office planning? Did you put your expectations down on paper? Did you? Yeah, that's right, James Smith, Musa from Vanderbilt. That's right. So what did you do in June and July? Because if you didn't do the right thing, you're going to get exposed come this football season. Yeah, you're going to get exposed.
Right. Let me get this call. Hold on, Ms. Ford.
Okay.
What's going on, Caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, this Gabriel again. Hey, look, quick, okay. So, we were talking earlier about the SWAC trying to, like I say, do for themselves. Right. Now I remember, BET was showing some HBCU games,
Right.
Now, what you think about, kind of like revisiting that, maybe BET, maybe on.
I don't think they want to. They don't want to.
You don't think they want to?
What is it? Vericon owns BET. They ain't interested in doing nothing.
Really?
No black
Vericon owns BET now?
Yeah.
It's Viacom. It's Viacom.
To Vericom. Bob Johnson
Viacom.
Yeah, it's Viacom.
Yeah, Viacom. And
Right.
What Bob did, Bob took his money from BET, put his chips in. He went and bought the what they call now that team Michael Jordan has. What's that team called?
Jumpman.
The basketball team in Charlotte. What's that?
The Hornets.
The Hornets.
The Hornets. He bought the Hornets, and then what he wanted was, when he had the Hornets, he decided he wanted an airline. He sold the majority ownership to Michael Jordan. He wanted to buy one of the airlines. Of course, they blocked it. They didn't let him do it. But that's what his idea was. He wanted, after he owned that basketball team, he wanted to own a airline. That's what he wanted to do. I think it was American he was trying to buy. He was one of them. I have to go back and do my research, but I think it was American, and they blocked him.
Now I heard he had bought another. I think he started another media company. I forgot the name of it, but he's supposed to be starting another media company.
Okay, he's okay.
Well, we'll see.
I'll look him up tomorrow. I'll see what he's doing. But I know that he made Michael Jordan a majority owner.
Yeah, I see it when I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I believe it when I see it.
He wanted a network. Not a network. He wanted a airline company. That's what he was trying to buy.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, they just not interested in HBCU content because they had so many chances. You're a black channel. You're a black channel. You should be clamoring to have black content on your channel like that. But you want to show all this reality TV and all this other, ratchet foolishness.
And you know something, you're right, because I think about Oprah for a second. But hell, she sold her own network. I think she sold them to Discovery. I think she did. So, you're right. That's right. Yeah. So they're white owned too. White owned too.
Somebody saying right now, EA said Farrakhan owns BET now. Damn, I can't stop. Is that true?
Louis Farrakhan or Viacom?
That's what it looked like. Do y'all see that? It says EA. Farrakhan owns BET now. Is that true?
No.
Dang, I see it.
Stop letting them troll y'all. Stop letting them troll y'all.
I can't confirm nor deny
it.
No. Farrakhan on no BET.
Yeah, because he's 89 or 90. Didn't he retire as the head of the Nation of Islam? He's not even on that anymore, is he?
No, he's still ahead. He's still
ahead.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna get back off it. Look, FAMU. They played North Carolina in the first game.
Right, yeah.
So North Carolina gonna mollywop them. They ain't gonna be no good when they play Jackson State game too.
We'll see.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
We'll see. I'm hoping.
That's what I'm hoping that it doesn't happen.
Hey, but see, that's why I say that's why Buzz, I was saying this earlier. Until the talent, okay, at least like you say, the offensive line, the defensive line, until that catches up with these upper echelon teams. If you're gonna play somebody, the FBS, play the lower tier. Southern Miss, Memphis, Tulane, schools like that, teams you can compete with. You ain't got to be trying to
ULM, like ULM.
Exactly.
ULM.
Yeah, ULM. They should have beat ULM last year. I hate they lost their game. That was crazy that they lost their game last year.
They should have beat them. That's the kind of schools we need to play. I don't see. My thing is, we got 65 scholarships and they got 85. No, I ain't with that. I'm not with that. I'm not with it. I heard y'all talking earlier about, somebody said something about Tennessee State was playing that school up there, North Dakota State. What's that going to do? It ain't going to bring Tennessee State no money.
Right.
They got more money than Tennessee State.
Yeah.
They actually, like I done told you 100 times, they FBS. They pretending to be FCS, but they actually FBS.
What I think Tennessee State is trying to do, they're trying to just boost the notoriety of their program. That's all they're thinking about right now. That's why they're trying to play these big schools. I don't think they're really thinking about winning these games. They just want to play North Dakota State just so they can get in the media, get on TV and stuff like that. So I think that's.
Well, let me say this to them Tennessee State folks. What y'all need to do is repair your backing. See, I can remember back in the 70s and the early 80s, Tennessee State was just like Jackson State, Southern, FAMU, Grambling. They had a great following. You went and joined that Hillbilly Conference, OVC, and you destroyed your following. That's what you need to repair, not running behind North Dakota State or running behind some darn Notre Dame and Ohio State. Repair your backing. You can't even get people in Nashville to come to your games. That's what you need to be doing, Tennessee State. Repair your following. That was a time Tennessee State would come to Florida A&M. They would bring 15, 20,000 people. You can't even do it no more. Repair your backing.
No, NDSU
Unify
is not a
the Tiger
FBS
Nation.
team
That's what you need to do.
in regards to money. NDSU is a FBS team in FCS clothing, pretty much.
Yeah,
they give all. They give most.
That's one of the things. Blue and them are always criticizing these SWAC schools about this, but you don't never have no criticism for North Dakota State. You done won the FCS 9 or 10 times, but you ain't talking about moving up.
Right.
But every time I hear you want these black schools to lead the SWAC. Jackson State need to lead the SWAC. But you ain't telling North Dakota State that.
Yeah.
See, that's my problem.
Because North Dakota State, they get the bulk of their state money because they're the flagship school of the state.
They're the flagship school.
Yeah.
And they spending $25-30 million.
Yeah.
How much money does Tennessee State spend on sports? What, about 10?
Probably so. Yeah, so I don't even respect North
Dakota's budget is $24 million.
Yeah, I don't even respect their championship because y'all at an advantage. Y'all got the advantage over everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Listen, let me tell you something. North Dakota State come to Hale Stadium on the campus of Tennessee State. I guarantee you they won't have 5,000 people there. Because you know them people from North Dakota State ain't coming. They ain't coming on no black campus. And then here's the thing. The students at Tennessee State ain't going to even come out there and see it.
Right. We got a call. Let me answer this real quick. Hold on. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, it's Coach Pep. I got a question for I got the question for you.
Yeah,
the way you make money in college by playing classic games, by playing games on TV such as ESPN, by playing up in class, bowl games.
Right.
Which one do you think the SWAC ought to go? By playing up in class and playing bowl games?
I think they can do all of them.
You want me to do SWAC? You want to go?
Well, you can go ahead, but I think they can do all of them. I think they can still play their classic games.
Now, I like the present, like they did it last year. The champion of the SWAC go to the Celebration Bowl. The second best team goes to the playoffs. I still say the best thing for the SWAC and for HBCU schools right now, you cannot beat that during on Celebration Bowl. There's too much money to be left on the table. See, here's the thing about the playoffs. You have to bid for that. Once you bid, the money doesn't even go to your school. That money goes to the NCAA. All right, yeah, you're in a tournament, but our schools don't have the money to go a long way in that tournament. So the best thing for us as HBCUs is to push that Celebration Bowl. That's the best thing for us, is that Celebration Bowl. Now, that second line team, like FAMU was second to Jackson last year, and they went to the playoffs. I like that. But I want our champion to go to the Celebration Bowl.
I want to pose this question to you. Memphis got the Liberty Bowl.
Right.
New Orleans got 3 or 4 bowl games. Independence Bowl game, the New Orleans Bowl game, the Sugar Bowl game, and Alabama has got a bowl game. Dion could talk Jackson, the Mississippi, and bringing the bowl games to there.
Right.
Do you Mississippi State and Ole Miss? They not gonna go to $800,000 bowl game. They gonna go and make $6 million or $7 million. The only school that Jackson would sure be the school invited to the bowl game.
Now,
do you think?
Hold on.
Dion would.
Hold on. Are you talking about an FBS bowl game? Because that's you have to be.
It don't matter because here don't matter because the money runs the team. If Jackson was the team that Mississippi declared for their bowl, it hit Southern Miss, Boise State.
All right, so I think what you're trying to say is you talk about having a bowl game in Mississippi. Now Jackson State is an FCS team, so they won't be able to play the bowl games on the FBS level. And then you also have to think about the NCAA doesn't really fool with Mississippi like that, because for the longest, the NCAA wasn't having bowl games in Mississippi because they didn't want to change their state flag. So you know they've been having bad blood with Mississippi because of that. So I don't think they would ever put a major bowl game in Mississippi because they don't fool with Mississippi like that. Because Mississippi is known as a
change their flag. They did say they would do some things. Now the other state that was having a problem about the flag was South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
The NCAA did have a problem with South Carolina having that what was it, the Confederate flag up or something. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I would like to see more black bowl games now. I would. I don't know if we can do it, but I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, having more bowl games would be good, but some people will say that's just like a classic, you know, pretty much. We already got the classic games. Then you got the Celebration Bowl. I don't know how we would work that, having 2 or 3 bowl games at the end of the season. I guess the CIAA and the SIAC, they can have a bowl game as well. I don't know.
Hey, Tony, way up. Which Tiger Nation are you talking about? Are you talking about Jackson? Are you talking about Tennessee State? Are you talking about Texas? Who we talking about here?
Oh,
Tony said, Mr. Ford, you wrong. Tiger Nation is still in effect. What school are we talking about?
Bring the Pioneer Bowl back. Russell Haynes, appreciate that dumb.
Division, it was for SIAC and it was for SIAC and CIAA, wasn't it? That was the Pioneer Bowl, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh, Tony Webb, you said Tennessee State. Nah, Tony, listen. And I done told you, I think you heard me earlier. I said it starts in the president's office. Listen, I have all the respect for Dr. Glover. She has a law degree. She has a PhD in business. But when it comes to running a football program, she don't know what to do. Okay? That little guy that they got from University of Tennessee, he's the one that should have advised her to join the SWAC. So I'm going to say this again. Until y'all go back to playing a Southern, Grambling, Texas Southern, Alabama State, Florida A&M, you just wasting your time. Okay? Those students don't want to see you play no Tennessee Tech, and they don't want to see you play Austin Peay. So I'm going to say it again. Long as you running around in that OVC, you running around on the circle, you wasting your time. When you come back and you play Florida A&M, Alabama State, you play Jackson, you play Grambling, play Southern, play Texas Southern, then you back on the right road. When you do that, that's when you're going to get on the right road. That's a Tony, ain't it?
Yeah, wasn't
that Tony?
I got love for Dr. Glover. That was my teacher
yeah,
when
she's
I
a
at
brilliant
Jackson
woman.
State.
No doubt. Matter of fact, the AKAs just honored her. I can't think, were they in Florida somewhere? They did a big thing for her.
She's really sweet. She has a very cool
Yeah,
personality.
she is. She's out of Memphis. There are a lot of people here in Atlanta who went to Tennessee State with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they went to Tennessee State with her.
I want to acknowledge.
Listen,
hold on, Ms. Ford. I want to acknowledge Russell Haynes. Appreciate that donation. He says HBCU MEAC in the chat. Yes or no? Bama State versus Howard. I guess you're trying to ask who do we think is going to win the game against Bama State and Howard. I answered it early.
I'm pulling for Bama State.
Yeah, I think Bama State is going to get that one too.
Like I said, I think all the pressure is that offense coordinator. We got to see what he knows. You done been given all these toys. You got a 5-star quarterback. Do you know what to do with it? Can you get him prepared to play in the NFL? Can you help win a SWAC championship? When the last time Alabama State won a SWAC championship? Right. Wasn't it that, what his name, Charlie Cole? He had that kid, Tavares Jackson, in them, I think. Wasn't that the last team to win? That's the last Alabama State team to win the SWAC, wasn't it? Somebody tell me. When the last time Alabama State won the SWAC in football?
Been a while. You know, we had to Google stuff like that. Make sure y'all hit the like button. We at 133 likes. We got over 200 people in the chat. We can get to 150 likes before we end the show tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet. Also, the phone lines are open if y'all want to call in 657-390-4814.
Let me say this right here. Let me say this about this guy here at Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin. Now, Lane Kiffin just got a $3 million raise from the state of Mississippi. His salary is now $7 million. But he comes over here to the SEC football media day and says the biggest concern he got is that the players getting too much money from the NIL. Now, what kind of, what is that? Now, you just got a $3 million raise from the state of Mississippi, but you don't want the players to get nothing. Now, is that not a slave master of what?
Yeah, I mean
why would you send your children? Let me just say this to these parents down here, wherever you are. Why would you send your children to play for somebody that would say something like that? Your child out there risking life and limb, and then this man saying he don't want them to get no money. You know what I'm saying? Why would you send your child to Ole Miss when you can send your child to Alcorn and to Mississippi Valley and to Jackson State where somebody care about them? And this man, all he want to do is stop them from making some money. Why would you send your kids down there to that man?
Right. Let me get this call, Miss Ford. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Tony Webb.
What's going on, Tony?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm hearing some kind of noise in the background. What is that?
Some kind of noise in the background.
Yeah,
I'm outside. There's nothing going on out here.
Some crickets or something? You in the country? You in the backwoods?
I'm outside.
All right, go ahead. What you got for me, Tony?
All right, listen, man. Mr. Ford, I have all due respect for you, brother. You have some excellent points. Of course, when I first heard you, I guess on All Script Show, you have some very detailed analysis. Historical facts are pretty good. But the bottom line about Tennessee State and that whole joint OVC, then you know this because I've heard you. It was basically a political arm twist back in 1985.
Right. That's right.
Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
Now, we can easily say that maybe they should have let they know, hang and stood up to it, but they didn't.
Right.
Now, from there, I'm not going to, because we don't have enough time to go over the whole complete thing. The TSU's attendance was actually pretty strong up until about 2016, 17. It was still pretty decent. You were drawing well for the John Merritt, classic. Usually drew about 22,000 fans. You had another 10 to 15 out there in the parking lot, like all HBCUs do. Homecoming was always a big draw. All that, okay. We were playing FAMU still a couple years, a few years ago. We were still taking 4,000-5,000, which ain't what 15 and 20, but it's still 4,000-5,000 was traveling. Packed out Bethune Cookman Stadium, which ain't hard to do, but But the bottom line is Big Blue Nation's still in effect.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
When Rod Reed got fired or was told to step down, that whole 2-year process with the COVID thing, the attendance took a big hit. Last year was horrible. We all understand that. But because there was a lot of uncertainty with Eddie and whatnot. But one thing about Eddie, a lot of people don't know is, first of all, Eddie is.
Hey Tony, I had to cut y'all, man. I can't take the crickets, man. I couldn't take it no more. I tried, but I couldn't take it no more. You can go back in the house and call back, man. That sound was just killing me. I couldn't take it no more. Let me get the next call. What's going on, Carly Loud? Talk to me.
Hey, what up, SWAC Buzz? Jerome from Charlotte again.
What's going on, Jerome?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the previous caller. So, I know quite a few folks, from Tennessee State, whether they served on the board of trustees or, on the national level for their alumni association. And I've asked them that question. That's been a rumor for decades, that the state of Tennessee had in their legislature or some type of political thing with TSU joining OVC. And all of them, in fact, well, so according to, and a lot of these brothers I've talked to, they're very transparent. They shoot from the hip. They all basically said that it's just a rumor. Like that actually did not happen. It's a rumor that's been around for decades, but that really wasn't the case. They basically explained that at that time they looked at the travel, and I could definitely understand. Like when you look at the old OVC prior to everybody leaving, Tennessee State really was within an hour and a half or 2 hours of about 90% of the conference. So it definitely made sense at that time. And then, of course, as they began to win in the NCAA tournament, that generated a lot of money and revenue for the conference. Because I don't know if y'all remember in the 2000s, there were quite a few OVC teams that had some, had some pretty deep runs in the NCAA tournament. But now
Jacksonville State,
yeah, Jacksonville State, I think.
Jacksonville State,
Yeah, so, when it came to the NCAA basketball tournament, that was another reason why TSU felt the need to stay in the OVC, because it generated extra money for them. But when you look at the conference now and the fact that a lot of their major players, similar to the CAA, a lot of the big boys in the CAA have already gone. I think the only team that's really left worth anything is maybe Richmond. I think they're gone as well. But or maybe William and Mary. But either way, the conference, the way that it's set up now, they would definitely benefit from coming to the SWAC. But I just think their culture, I just think their culture of being affiliated with PWI conferences, now that they're about 30 years in it, I think it's just so embedded, within the OVC that, they just don't want to leave. And I guess we can hold ourselves accountable as well as a SWAC, because we've been playing them in these classics. So they feel like, well, hey, I can have my cake and eat it too. I can play the SWAC schools and route, So I'm not saying that we got to blackball them. In a way, I do kind of feel that way. In a way, I do kind of feel the same way about like A&T and Hampton. I kind of feel like, hey, if y'all don't want to join our conference, then you can't play our schools. But
let me say this. Mm-hmm. For years, Tennessee State and Florida A&M played here in what they call the Atlanta Classic. They would play at the Georgia Dome. Eventually, they put Tennessee State out of the Atlanta Classic and brought in Southern because Tennessee State wasn't selling any tickets. All of the tickets were being sold by Florida A&M. Yep. And so when he said that they still together, well, they ain't been buying no tickets because they were put out of the Atlanta Classic.
It's really
because they weren't selling.
Yeah, it's like, when I talk to HBCU historians, from the 70s and 80s, they'll tell me like TSU's fan base back then rivaled that of like Jackson or Southern. Like it was really, really big. But you know, the longer they stayed in the OVC, their fan base just really dwindled and started to die out. And I think if they do play, SWAC schools and whatnot, I think their attendance would definitely start to build up. But the thing with TSU that people, the thing with TSU people got to remember is, what do you say? That isn't what the TSU alums were saying when they were forced into a conference. They used to the independent they had to join and the letter writing campaign to the legislature. Yeah, so, and that's the thing, man. Like, when you talk to actual TSU alums who got some clout and who are decision makers, they'll tell you otherwise. Like, that was just a rumor. But anyway, like, when you look at TSU, man, they're one of the only campuses, HBCUs, that's really been affected by gentrification. So if you talk to TSU alums, man, that's always a hot button topic. You know, that whole community around the campus has been gentrified. And, you know, Nashville is essentially like a white version of Atlanta. So it's kind of like, where can they get their fan base from? So it's I don't know. Like, when you talk about, you know, playing schools in the OVC that are relatively close compared to like your closest school in the SWAC would be A&M, which is in Huntsville. I think they're about an hour and a half apart. But outside of that, like, everybody else in the SWAC is, you know, maybe like a 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, hour drive. Does it really make financial sense? So,
well, listen, let's go right here to Mr. Edwin Moore. He says Tennessee State had a real good fan base for games in Nashville, Memphis, and Atlanta. Memphis, that game, them Jackson State folk. Nashville, y'all average 4,000 and 5,000 people at Hale Stadium. Atlanta, I just told you, they put you out of the Atlanta Classic. They put you out and brought Southern in. Listen, two things you got to keep in mind about Tennessee State. Tennessee State at one time was under something called the Feynman. It was called the Feynman decision, which basically was their attempt to gut that school. Okay? I used to recruit for a man named Joe Gilliam Sr. We would sit down and have breakfast, and that man told me over and over how he hated the OVC. So don't tell me nothing about that OVC, okay? What the OVC did to Tennessee State was basically strip them down to nothing. And it's pure, simple sense to know that Tennessee State belongs in the SWAC.
Yeah, they do.
If they can't be in the SWAC, then go back independent. But get out of that hillbilly conference.
Exactly, and that's how, you know what.
Let me say this real quick, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. I want to acknowledge the people that donate to the channel. God saw beginning and knows end. Appreciate the donation. Also, Morpheus, appreciate the donation from you as well. Let me see. Miss God, appreciate you for the super chat as well. Thank y'all. Also, I want to say this. Make sure y'all hit the like button. It's real important that y'all hit the like button, you know, so you can get the stream out to more people and we can grow the platform. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Jerome, I'm gonna get to the next caller. I appreciate you calling. Let me get to the next caller. Hold on just a second. All right, this is Tony again. Let's see if the crickets are gone. All right, Tony, did you get the crickets gone? The crickets gone away now? Yeah. Yeah, it's quiet now.
I'm not gonna get all, into no argument about anything, or because one thing about us Tennessee State people, we don't play the radio. Okay, we ain't about all that talking. It's just like Marshall Lynn said, it's all about that action boss.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just gonna make 2 quick points and get up out of here. As far as us playing Eastern Washington this year, North Dakota State, which has not been finalized, is in the works to be home and home in the years 2024, 2025. Now Mr. Forbes can back me up on this. There's only 2 HBCU schools that didn't fear playing white institutions throughout the years, and that was Grambling and Tennessee State.
Right.
We ain't nobody lapdog. If we don't win, we don't win. But we ain't going to lose. We ain't going to be no sacrificial lamb for nobody. And that might be what they think. Because, you know, Eastern Washington, when they made their game, they probably wasn't thinking. Okay?
Hold on real quick, Tony.
State.
Hold on real quick, Tony. Hey, can one of the mods, can y'all kick that bot out? I got my stuff set to subscribers only, and these bots still find their way to be able to make comments. I don't know what's going on with that. So can someone please kick that bot out? All right, thank you. Go ahead, Tony.
Now we're not going to East Washington being about a lapdog, and we in North Dakota, when we go up there, we ain't being their lapdog. And one thing, you know, it's almost like God has metaphysically answered my prayer. As I've said on other shows, North Dakota and all the Missouri Valley teams don't come past the Mason-Dixon line. I would love to see them play not only us but Jackson State and O'Grady or Southern in our territory. Okay? Right. Now, y'all give they won 9 straight championships. Where they make their money is on their linemen. They get the same linemen that the other Big Ten schools get. They get the same line. They compete with Wisconsin and Michigan and Ohio State for the same offensive line. Okay? That's where they make their money. Their skill players are not that great. They really are not.
No, they're running up straight up the middle.
Right. They can be beat. James Madison proved it. Sam Houston proved they can be beat. Yeah. They're not all that. Okay? So in 2024 and definitely 2025, we're going to see what it's all about. Okay?
All right.
The disappointing is TSU ain't never been scared of playing nobody.
All right.
Okay? Teams have been scared to play us. It's like they were scared to play Grambling and scared to play us for years. And that might not be totally the case now. Georgia State made that mistake about 4 years ago when they opened up their, not with a new stadium, but it was right. The Braves' old stadium.
They
made that mistake.
That was Rod Reed's team.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm not going to get too deep into this because this is kind of urban legend. Of course, we played Vanderbilt twice. This last time, you know, Rod was, and this will start his downfall. Rod was pretty close with the head coach of Vanderbilt at that time. I can't remember the guy's name. Derek Mason. And TSU receivers still running open. They still running open. Okay, we got down there to the 10-yard line, and for whatever reason, ran the ball 4 straight times up the middle. But we're gonna leave that alone. I'm not even gonna get into that. I know y'all really don't understand what I'm talking about that, and I don't want to get into that.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, appreciate the call, Tony. Let me get to the next caller. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Langston Little.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear you on.
Yeah, how you doing, boss? My name is Langston. I'm calling from Connecticut.
What's going on up there in Connecticut?
I just wanted to comment. Not much, man. I'm really just tapping into the whole HBCU scene. I went to PWI, but my mother went to HBCU. My brother went to HBCU.
Okay. What PWI you went to?
So I went to Nichols College.
Nichols
College,
Massachusetts. Okay.
All
right, go ahead.
All right. Well, one of the comments I wanted to make was speaking on the next move for Jackson State and them joining the CAA conference. Wouldn't that be a better move for them in the long run? Better competition.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
You said the CAA and what other conference?
Wouldn't the next move for Jackson State, the best move for them, wouldn't it be to follow along with Howard and North Carolina A&T to join the CAA?
Why would Jackson State need to go and play Rhode Island, Villanova, Delaware? Can they fans get to Delaware? What would that prove? I don't understand. Is there a conflict between Delaware, University of Delaware, and Jackson State? Do the people at Jackson State want to see Delaware? Do the people at Jackson State want to see Maine? Do they want to see Rhode Island? That makes no sense.
I can understand that. The people in Jackson State may not want to see, but I'm telling you, from somebody that's up north, somebody that's from Connecticut, we would love to see Jackson State. and sometimes that may be our only opportunity. Like now we have the HBCU Classic that's always been in New York, right? And this year we got Howard versus
well, see, that's the problem. Howard should have invited Jackson State instead of a Division II Morehouse that they're gonna beat by 30 or 40 points. Howard should have invited Jackson
like we're
State.
being cheated as fans.
Yeah, Howard should see. Howard punked out. Howard punked out. What Howard should have done, they should have invited Jackson State, Florida A&M, Southern, Alabama A&M, one of them. But they punked out by inviting a Division II school so that they can beat them by 30 points on national TV. That's on Howard and that's on the promoters of that thing. Because you're going into the same stadium that houses the New York Jets and the New York Giants, and instead of bringing competition from the SWAC, you go to the SIAC and you get Morehouse. Somebody tell me, when the last time Morehouse won the SIAC in football? Howard punked out.
All right, so hold up. So, caller, what if you were over Jackson State? What would you have Jackson State do? I just want to hear your opinion on that.
To me, the best move would be in a couple of years to move up in competition, to move to the CIAA. I mean, yeah, because they'll be able to travel more. So now you're being building more recognition nationwide. It's better for as far as building a TV contract. To me, it's better for expansion.
Okay, so
especially if they could dominate the SWAC for the next few years. After a while, you have to make the next move. Like, and especially he's talking about playing Alabama, and we talk about playing schools in the FCS. You have to be able to move up in competition, be able to show your value. So to me, before we get to Alabama and the Mississippi States and Ole Miss, I think the best move would be CAA.
Okay, now I hear what you're saying, but I think if Jackson State was going to do any kind of move, it would be to a FBS conference. They wouldn't go to another FCS conference because what they're not really gaining anything from going to a CAA. They're not even what are they gaining from that? You know, you're going to play other FCS schools that you're probably going to beat because by that time Coach Prime would have 3 or 4 recruiting cycles in, and they would be having the best players on the FCS level. So it wouldn't really make sense. So I think if they were to even try to make a move, which I don't believe they are, it would probably be a lower tier FBS conference. But I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling.
I understand. I'm
Go ahead.
saying as far as like when we talk about conference payouts and stuff like that, wouldn't the CAA pay out more?
No. How they paying out more?
Their conference generates more revenue.
It generates
overall.
More. It generates more revenue than Sunbelt.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Okay, well, I appreciate the call. We get to the next call. Thank you.
But then again, okay, my argument against that, who will we want to see them play in the Sunbelt versus them being in the CAA where they have A&T, they have Howard, you have Villanova. It's a better draw.
Yeah, but you got to think about travel too. Then you got USM, you got an in-state rival with USM, and then you can still play your other, HBCU schools. So it would just logistically, it'd be better. It would be better for them to be in the Sun Belt. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
But I don't think they're trying to move to an LBS conference. So we're just really just talking hypotheticals at this point. But all right.
Okay. And then my if I can make one last comment, you don't mind?
Go ahead.
All right. I also think because they said the number 1 team should go to the SWAC championship or the Celebration Bowl, and then the second team should go to the playoff. Don't we want to see the best team in the playoffs so we could prove they were just as good or better than everybody else?
Yeah, the thing with the playoff is it doesn't make any money. So they get $1 million payout for going to the Celebration Bowl. And you had a lot of other schools. I want to say Sam Herder on Twitter, he was talking today how teams in the FCS are complaining about the playoff because they don't make any money. You just, you pretty much just going for clout and respect. but you're not making any money. So if you go there and you lose, you pretty much just wasted your money and just pretty much extended resources that you could have put somewhere else.
Okay.
All right.
So then how will we get the North Dakota State matchup?
What you mean? Well, you could schedule it just like Tennessee State is trying to schedule North Dakota State. You know, you can always schedule, but it might be a few years out, but you can always schedule those teams that you want to play.
All right, I got you. Thank you for your time this evening. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Hey, this is Mike from Maryland.
What's going on, Mike?
Hey, man, I just want to get something off my chest, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all have all this smoke for Tennessee State not joining the SWAC when it's not in their economic best interest to do so, but you don't got no smoke for Langston. Ain't Langston one of your original founders? Y'all don't get on Langston. Y'all don't get on Langston. And Mr. Ford, you brought up a suggestion that was really good when you said that Coppin, because I'm a MEAC man, that Coppin and Maryland State supposed to have football teams. I think that was a great idea, but Maryland State lost their football team due to Title IX. And Coppin State has always been a basketball school. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest when it comes to why y'all don't ask Langston to join the SWAC or Tuskegee. Those are two hallmark schools that will bring prestige to the SWAC. But y'all just got smoke for Tennessee State. And I just don't understand.
Let me say this. Now, there is meetings going on about Tuskegee. Tuskegee's made it known that they want to possibly join the SWAC. All right. Now, the Langston thing, I'm not sure. I know Dr. Cavill is on the line. And Dr. Cavill, if you can hear me, I love your show. I love what you talk about. And you are the dean of SWAC shows. But I think that I don't know if Langston has applied to join the SWAC or if I don't know if but Dr. Cavill at one time wasn't Langston in the SWAC.
Yeah,
I know that Marshall Wiley College was.
I think they're one of the founders.
Prairie View is one of the original because the SWAC I think started in Texas, right?
Yeah, I think they're one of the founders.
True? Somebody didn't the SWAC start with Texas?
Yeah,
in Texas.
I think Langston is one of the founders, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it moved over from Texas to Oklahoma, from then Oklahoma to maybe Louisiana and then Mississippi.
But
SWAC, I don't know if I know that he's right about Langston as NAIA. I don't know if Langston has applied to the SWAC. I know that I think their program pretty good in the football program pretty good. Does anybody know about Langston's program?
Dominant football program.
They was one of the founding members from what I'm seeing here.
Let me just say this about why I said that about what was at one time called Maryland State. They now call it Maryland Eastern Shore. Maryland State at one time, number one, was one of the most powerful black college programs in America. This is the school that gave you Art Shell. This is the school that gave you Emerson Boozer. This is the school that gave you Johnny Sample. All right. Now, I think after 79 or 80, they cut the football program, right? Isn't that right?
Because of Title IX. Title IX really cut that program. But I think before then, they was like 65 and 15, some ridiculous record.
Wait 1 second. I want to correct this, y'all. Hold on. I want to correct this. So that Langston wasn't a founding member. They joined in 1931 and they left in 1956. Let me just correct that. All right, y'all go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that Langston was in it. But now let me say this. I believe that Maryland Eastern Shore spends about $7 to $8 million on sports. If you're spending $7 to $8 million on sports, you can have a football team. You can have a football team. I think now you're talking about 6 teams playing football, 2 teams in the MEAC with no football. Listen, if Maryland Eastern Shore and Coppin State are not going to do football, they need to join the CIAA. They don't need to be in the MEAC.
I agree with you on that, but I like the MEAC how it's currently constituted with 6 teams because it allows us to have flexibility where we can play a lot of schools from the CAA and neighboring schools. So it gives us the HBCU feel, but then we have an independent feel where we can go out and play Delaware, Villanova. It's all in our footprint. So I really like this thing. I was tired of the Florida schools, man. Good riddance, man. Bethune, Florida, they ain't got no love for me, you know. A&T. I was sad when A&T left and Hampton, but some Florida schools kind of messed the MEAC up from the beginning. So I was happy to see them leave. But enjoy the show, and that's it for me.
All right, thank you for the call.
All right.
Well, everybody knows that the MEAC went from Dover, Delaware, all the way to Daytona Beach. That was too much. Okay, and I said all along when Florida A&M left the SIAC around 1979 or 1980 that it was a mistake for them to join the MEAC instead of the SWAC, because you got to understand it made no sense for Florida A&M to be taking their golf team and their basketball team and all that up to Coppin State. It made no sense for Florida A&M to be taking them Olympic sport up to Delaware State. Okay, it made no sense. Geographically, it didn't make no sense. So it was a 40-year mistake.
Yeah, and to answer his question, why people have so much smoke for Tennessee State, it's because they're one of the biggest HBCU programs. You know, that Tuskegee is not on the same level as the Tennessee State. So you're not going to see people mention Tuskegee a lot. You're going to see them mention Tennessee State a lot because they're one of the biggest programs. They have I think they have the most draft picks out of everybody, if I'm not mistaken. They the number one or number two, Tennessee State.
Tennessee State? I think Grambling may be number one.
They either number one or number two. I know.
Yeah, they up there now. I know at one time Tennessee State had put 180 players in the NFL. But see, here's the thing with Tennessee State. When I was in high school and when I was in college, Tennessee State, like you said, was one of the premier black college football programs in the nation. Big John Merritt died in 1983. The year after he died, Coach Joe Gillum took the team. They didn't give Coach Joe Gillum the team after that 1 year. They gave it to Bill Thomas. Bill Thomas goes undefeated his first year as head coach at Tennessee State. That was 1984, I believe. It's been downhill ever since. Now, they did kind of bring a little smoke. They had a dude up there named L.C. Cole. I don't know if you remember. It was two brothers. L.C. was a graduate of Nebraska. Johnny Cole was his offense coordinator. He was a graduate of Texas Southern. Eventually would become head coach at Texas Southern. Played quarterback for Texas Southern. Mm-hmm. Pete Richardson coached them at a school called Dunbar in Dayton, Ohio. Okay, but listen, they ain't brought no smoke since then. Now, Rod Reed did have some 2 or 3 good teams, but they didn't give Rod, the people in control, the administration, did not support Rod's program. All right, so you say, why are we upset? Because I'm sick and tired of Tennessee State not doing the right thing. Tennessee State should either be in the SWAC. If not in the SWAC, they should be independent. If not independent, they should be in the MEAC. But they should not be in that hillbilly conference called the Ohio Valley Conference. It has done nothing for that school.
Right, I agree with that. So you want to close this out tonight, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, you know, I got to hit them. I got to be in that classroom tomorrow. Listen, I enjoyed everything. And guys, once again, I think we're 2 weeks away from, is it week 0 is August 27th. I think we got FAMU at maybe 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock against North Carolina Tar Heels in Chapel Hill. That night we have Alabama State and Howard here in Atlanta in the SWAC MEAC Challenge, and it's going to be on ESPN. So what are we about 14 days away from the 27th? Or 13 days away?
Yeah, probably I think about 14 days, yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2 weeks, guys. It's on.
Yeah, it's
almost on, baby.
Almost
it's
here,
on.
y'all.
We can stop doing all this talking.
It's almost here.
Hey, listen, it's going to be about what's on the field, but I just want to tell you, all of you, whatever your school is in that SWAC, if your people didn't do the right thing during the month of June and July, you're going to get your behind kicked. If your people did the right thing in June and July, you're going to contend for a SWAC championship. Listen, everybody have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ford.
All right.
All right. How did we do on likes today, y'all? Let's see how we do on likes. Did we get to 200? Let's see. 168. That's how y'all gonna do me tonight? Come on now. I know we can get to 200. I'm gonna get like Kevin Samuels on y'all. Like Kevin Samuels used to do. He used to play that annoying music until everybody like the stream. I'm gonna get like that on y'all. Appreciate that super chat, the man. Appreciate that super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. We got somebody else on the line. Let's see who this is. All right, what's going on, Carly? You live? Try to be real quick for me. We don't want to keep the show running too much longer.
I was calling about the Langston. I was calling about the Langston. That team is 40-8 in the last 6 years. They don't play FCS football in the Midwest. They dropped from they dropped from FBS to NIA, right? My son is the head coach for Langston. He's 40-8.
Okay. Hello? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Oh,
but
okay.
I was asking Mr. Ford that they I was asking Mr. Ford. I said I was asking Mr. Ford if he thought Langston should join the MEAC.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he already answered that. He said he didn't really care about Langston, but he did say that Tuskegee might be a candidate to join the SWAC. Appreciate the call. Thank you for calling. We got another call. Let me get this caller. Yeah, our brother had a stroke. So if y'all are wondering about the call, he had a stroke. So we always give our brother a platform to talk on here. But let me get the next call. Hold on just a second. What's going on, Collie Live? Talk to me.
Hello?
Yeah. What's going on? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what's going on? You're live. Talk to me.
Oh, okay, I can barely hear you there, SWAC Bud. But this is Tony from Mississippi, diehard JSU fan. You mentioned about, real quick, jerseys. JSU has partnered with a website called HBCUjerseys.com. They have JSU and other HBCU jerseys apparel right now.
You said HBCUjerseys.com.
Yep, HBCUjerseys.com.
And are they original jerseys like the jerseys the players are currently wearing?
Most of what I've seen, they had it's a white jersey. It's a replica. If you see Coach Prime, who else? Somebody else I saw on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay.
It's a white jersey. They have a blue jersey, and then I think they have a red jersey.
Yeah, I'm looking at
I'm
looking at the site right now. So this not original jersey. These are like they kind of their own designs. They look dope,
yeah.
but we want original jersey. We want the jersey that the players are wearing on the field. Like when you go to an NFL game and you go to Fanatics or you go to Amazon Fanatics or the NFL store, you get to buy the exact jerseys that the players are wearing. That's what I'm talking about. I want the original jerseys. I want them to get with a company that can sell the original jerseys.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that'll probably have to be on down the line. Matter of fact, I think JSU will probably have to blow up big time before you see that, because you're talking about licensing, what you're talking about there.
Well,
And for JSU, now for JSU, they have a bookstore, and they also have another website that sells JSU apparel, but it's not on the replica of their jerseys. Because I don't even think you can get basketball jerseys. I don't think.
yeah,
I don't even think.
yeah. Well,
They're nice though.
yeah, they look good, but North Carolina Central, they just got with a company, and that company is gonna they're gonna shop them to those websites and those other companies that make those jerseys. So they're gonna have original game jerseys for their players, like for their star players or whatever. They want to get in on the deal, the NIL deal with that company. They're gonna have their jerseys, their players' jersey made, and able to the
Okay.
fans are able to buy it from Fanatics and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. I see what you're talking about there. I think you'll probably be looking at that. If that's going to happen, I'll say probably another year or two or something like that on down the line before you can get those original football jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right.
You can look for that. Yeah. But those are they're real nice though. They're real nice. I guarantee it is. You'll see some of those when JSU played Tennessee State for that Southern Heritage Classic. You're gonna see some of those.
Yeah, I mean, people gonna buy the gear, no matter who makes it.
Yeah.
You got all kind of people making SWAC and HBCU gear. We love to buy the gear. We love to wear the clothing. So yeah, like if the SWAC is leaving a lot of money on the table by not having their original jerseys made, they will make so much money. Yeah. Because I know I would buy all three of them, all the jerseys that I can get. I would get every team's jersey. Even though, I went to Jackson State, I would still buy a Grambling jersey. Well, I won't buy an Alcorn jersey. I would never be caught dead in an Alcorn jersey. But I would buy Grambling, Southern, and all those other guys. But yeah, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good show. Yeah, y'all have a good one.
All right. Yeah, Alcorn. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna buy Alcorn. Yeah, Alcorn be the only one I leave on the rack. I won't be caught dead in purple and gold. No, sir. Trey Mack said, y'all way too grown to be wearing jerseys. You wearing jerseys to the game. That's where you wear a jersey at. I'm never buying another SWAC school jersey. Is you looking for a game field jersey, or are you talking about the Under Armour jersey? Yeah, the Under Armour jersey, not the game jersey. You can't wear a game jersey because the sleeves are made for shoulder pads. You're gonna be looking crazy in that. Swear what that you look. Trade. What is your Cash App? So my Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Is $ SWAC Buzz. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. $ SWAC Buzz. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the channel. Let's see what we got. Did we get to 200 tonight? Let's see. Did we get to 200? 187. Y'all couldn't give me 13. I'm gonna hit y'all with the Kevin Samuels music next time. Watch. I'm gonna find some music to play when I want to get y'all to like the stream. Make a choice, SWAC Buzz. 2 teams. What are you talking about? 2 jerseys I wear? I would buy a Valley jersey. And I would buy a Grambling jersey. Under Armour makes fan jerseys. I would definitely buy Walter Payton. I think Arby has his own. I reached out to him because my nephew wants his jersey, and he responded and said they were working on it. Okay, we'll see, man, because they leaving a lot of money on the table, man. A lot of people want to buy a jersey. I have so many people messaging me and stuff saying, hey, man, how can I get a jersey? People from outside the SWAC want these jerseys. They didn't never go to a HBCU school or anything. They want to buy the jersey because they're used to Alabama and all these other schools having jerseys they can go purchase. So they always asking. I need a J-hat fitted. They read Enterprise, so you can get you can get SWAC gear from Reed Enterprise. Well, Jackson State gear, you can get it from Reed Enterprise, Amazon, eBay. Bookstore.com has the most stuff that I've seen, and it's bkstr.com. bkstr.com. You go there and you type the school name in, it'll show you all the gear and all the products that school has. That's the best site that I've seen. Fanatics also has gear too. You can go on Fanatics, but they don't have jerseys. Swear you won't wear Steve McNair throwback. Nah, I'm good. I love Steve McNair though. Nah, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Public Figure. Oh yeah, Public Figure has JSU gear as well. Make sure y'all subscribe. Well, not subscribe, but go follow him on IG. I went to high school with him. Very good brother doing this thing, man. So make sure y'all support Public Figure as well. He makes a lot of good JSU gear. Those shorts that you see everybody wearing with the stripes on it, the Jackson State shorts, and then you got the Sonic Boom shorts with the JSU. Those are his shorts. So make sure y'all go check him out on IG. But yeah, y'all, that was another episode. I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be dropping other videos this week, and we'll probably do another live midweek or probably around Thursday. And then you'll know we do one Sunday. And towards the season, when the season get ready to start, we'll start ramping up and doing more live shows. I'm going to try to do a schedule during the season where I do like a pregame show, then a postgame show. So I'm and then a midweek show where we talk about the game leading up to it. So I'm gonna have a lot of things planned for the season. So y'all just stay tuned for that. But like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. I'm gone.